we had a cat named Precious, you know Precious, and so we lived in San Antonio, and I hadn't had her declawed yet when this happened, and we had a kitchen table that was round, and it had these chairs on rollers. We'd put a tile floor in there so the chairs would slide across the floor. And I had gone up. We had a 2-story house, and I'd gone upstairs, and he had gone over to the sink. And all of a sudden, she jumped up on that chair, and it went flying over there, and she went like this with claws sticking in the back in his shirt, and he was yelling at me, yelling at me, and I ran down. I'm thinking, it was. I mean, he didn't think it was funny, but we laughed about that. Whenever kids would come from out of town, they would gather at your mother. They would gather at the dining room table and play cards. They loved to play a card game called Spades. And there again, one time I have a picture of him. He was at the end of the table, and the cat was laying right in front of him while they played. But yeah, those card games, your mother would get so excited.
She never told me that.
Yeah, she wanted to win. Yeah, there could be some loud, and we had, that house was a split level. Like, on one level was the kitchen and the dining room, and then you walk down a few steps to the living room. So I would sit down there and watch TV because I had no interest in playing cards. But all that yelling and laughing, it came from up there. They were having a good time.
Oh, this is a good one. What was my mom like growing up? I'm very interested in hearing
Your
this.
mom was, she was, let's see, shall we call she was independent the whole time she was growing up. I mean, friends of mine from church one time we had a 2-story house, and I would have a women's circle meeting at night, and we'd be in the living room, and they remembered that it was bedtime for my kids, and so they would kind of be sitting on the stairs going up, looking down to see what the women were talking about. But one thing about your mother, if we had a party or a lot of people over there, when she was tired and it was bedtime, she told everybody good night and she went to bed. I mean, a lot of times kids want to stay up late. They want to stay up late because they want to see what's going on in the party, but not your mom. She said, no, I want to go to bed. And she did.
She's still like that.
Yeah. And she's still, and during high school, she had a lot going on. She was, sometimes what can I say? Sometimes in high school, she wasn't pleasant to be around. But yet, when you're in high school, she had a full schedule with studying and, and cheerleader and all the other activities. But yeah, and I remember when she was little, she had the blondest hair. Really, really blonde. Well, I thought the worst thing she did was going into the service. But that was me at the time, because I just thought, here's my 18-year-old girl going across the world. But it turned out, it was a good thing. It was a good thing for her, but at the time, I couldn't see that because it was stop and think about that. You know, you have a child that graduates from high school and then goes in the service and winds up in Korea. I mean, that's like, but